Recap in minutes. We will be going through a drama and war movie from 2011 named 1911. There will be spoilers ahead in today's video, so chill out and enjoy. The movie begins showing a prisoner woman walking in the street. The people stare at her while she is headed toward her execution. She narrates in this scene that she will be the first woman who will die for the revolution. She says this revolution will create an enduring home for all the depressed people of the country. It will guarantee peace for all the people. When she reaches the executioner, he shows her a picture of her children, and says that these two children are about to lose their mother. She impatiently replies that she will die for all the children. She selflessly devotes her life to the revolution. Now a man executes her with a long sword at the corner of the street. The next moment, Sun Wen wakes Huang Xing up and tells him that he should be going to Guangzhou for the revolution, and he has to go overseas to collect the funds. When Huang disagrees with him, he shows him a letter from the establishment, which has assigned him the duty to collect funds from overseas Chinese, and made Huang Xing the head of the uprising in the province. In the middle of their arguments, a woman comes to them, and shows them the letters from the revolutionaries. Huang Xing gets surprised to see a woman in the hall. He asks Sun who the woman is. He tells him that she is Xu Zongan, a member of their group Tongmengui from his village. He also tells him that she coordinates underground activities in Guangzhou. Later he informs him to be ready to pretend as her husband as a cover. Huang hesitates about this role but agrees afterward. Sun Wen motivates him saying that the Guangzhou uprising will finish off the Qing dynasty. In the next scene, 29th April of 1911, Huang Xing leads the revolutionaries and attacks the governor's mansion in Guangzhou. They fight fiercely to get control of the province by capturing the mansion. When the governor sees that his men cannot defend him, he manages to flee the mansion. The fighting continues between the revolutionaries and the governor's guards. Meanwhile, Huang Xing gets fired on his chest but is saved by his pocket watch. His men rescue him suspecting him injured. Seeing this, one of the revolutionaries ties a bomb in his hand and rushes toward the guards. He sacrifices his life, exploding himself among them. Huang Xing gets shocked seeing him die there. Now, the movie shows a scene from the 26th of April in 1911 in San Francisco. Sun Wen enters the Chinese hall, and orders the servants to arrange the donation boxes. He comes on the stage to give his fundraising speech. He starts speaking saying that they were gathered for fundraising for the uprising in Guangzhou. But he tells them that he received a telegram in which they informed him that the fighting in Guangzhou has ceased and the uprising has failed there. He glooms when he tells them that many of his men have died. After this emotional speech, the organizer comes to the library and gives him a box full of donations. He urges him to keep his uprising organized and forceful with this money. He tells him that he is their only hope, to get them free from the Qing dynasty. In the next scene, after fighting all night, Huang Xing hides in a grain storage room of the governor's mansion. Huang Xing tries to chop off his hand. Xu Zongan finds him and pushes the door to get him out of there. When she opens it, she gets shocked when she sees him with a knife. She assumes that he is going to commit suicide, so she forces him to stop him. She tells him that she understands his pain of seeing his men dying in front of him. She tells him that she knows their revolutionary attempt has failed. Realizing this situation, Xing tells her that he will cut his bloody fingers to wield the gun again. After that, she helps him cut his fingers. In the next scene, Sun Wen goes to a street, holding an address in his hand. He calls out loud the name of Homer in front of a building. When he finds him, he asks him why he is so interested in the Chinese Revolution, and why did he leave him a message at the fundraising event. Homer says it is the only thing that can make history exciting. He asks him to take him with them as a strategist in the revolution. Sun refuses but he insists. Homer sincerely praises Sun Wen for his good intentions and influence on people in this movement. He suggests that he should be China's first president. He agrees to take him as a military advisor in the revolution afterward. The Guangzhou uprising failed, but the revolution carried on. The number of members of the revolution increased. It spread into the army of the Qing dynasty too. Many revolutionaries are punished and killed for the mutiny in the army. The war against the Qing dynasty and army continues, creating trouble for the rulers. In the next scene, Sun Wen is surprised to know the success of the revolutionaries in Wuchang. He gets a good news that the engineering battalion of the new Hubei army has taken over the Huguang governor's mansion. He decides to take a tour of Europe to collect the funds for the revolution. He also commands his subordinates to telegram Huang Xing to go to Wuchang and lead the revolution. Homer requests him to take him with him but he refuses. After some time, Huang Xing receives the telegram and gets ready to go to Wuchang. Zongan prepares his luggage and worries about his safety in Wuchang. He assures her that he will be back safe and sound. She does not believe his words and opens the door in anger. But she sees him off with a heavy heart. At the royal court, Qing dynastic rulers and ministers argue over who shall be put in complete command in the next battle against the revolutionaries. Imperial Minister of the Interior, Xu Shihang suggests Xuan Shikai should be in charge of the wars. The other ministers reject his suggestion, but Empress Long Yu favors him. After this, they talk about the shortage of weaponry for the Qing army. They talk about taking loans from Four Nations Bank. Long Yu ignores them and walks toward her son. After some time, while the revolutionaries were fighting the Battle of Haoyi, they made their way to reach General Li Yuanhong. They leave no choice except to attack his own ally. They forcefully drag him into the battlefield to command and order an attack on a distant military ship. He eventually agrees and attacks the ship. The news of General Li Yuan switching sides is telegraphed to the entire country. The revolutionaries make him a provisional military governor. On the other hand, the Qing dynasty makes Yuan Shikai the commander of the Qing army. He reached the front lines on 27 October of 1911. He divides the army into two divisions. He appoints Feng Gahang to lead the first army, and Duan Kirki to lead the second. Together they attack Hankou. The revolutionaries are outnumbered and outpowered by the Qing army. Yuan destroys their bases. On the 3rd of November, Huang Xing arrived in Wuchang and was appointed commander-in-chief in defense of Hankou and Hanyang. He saves his revolutionary army in the trenches. He thinks of the strategies and preparedly commands fights with the Yuan's army. Meanwhile, General Yuan Shikai uses all his measures to take the revolutionaries down and defeat. Crossing, he proposes to secure a loan from the four banks to overcome the revolutionaries. An interesting thing happens here. A former revolutionary shares all the plans and strategies of the revolutionaries with Yuan. This gives him the advantage in his missions over Crossing. His informant helps him to get success in military intelligence. After some time, Sun Wen arrives at a bank in London. He requests the bankers and businessmen there to switch sides. He asks them not to prove a loan for the Qing rulers because they are losing the Revolutionary War. He makes arguments in favor of the revolutionaries. But they do not listen to him and leave the hall. After that, he goes to another occasion, where the bankers were having lunch. He tells them that he is aware that he is uninvited, but he has to tell something. He tells them to reconsider their loan for the Qing dynasty, because that is falling apart at the hands of the revolutionaries. They make arguments with him saying that they only care about their money and interest. They do not think about the political conditions anywhere. Sun Wen speaks to them persuasively, and says that their £6 million deal with the Qing dynasty is lousy. In the next scene, Huang Xing's strategies help his revolutionaries to take control of the battleground. They get closer to their enemies. After his impressive techniques, the Wuchang uprising succeeds. Yuan Shikai goes to the imperial court and describes this defeat to the empress. He requests them to pay him enough money to crush the revolutionaries. He proposes that a peace deal with the revolutionaries can solve the problem too. When the ministers hear the word peace, they get angry at him. He asks them to give up their possessions if they do not want to acknowledge the rebels. At this moment, the ministers and aristocrats offer their possessions to him. After that, Xing goes to Nanjing after the success in Wuchang. He arrives at a ship where the injured soldiers are being treated. He sees Zongan in a bloody nurse's clothes. She treats the wounded revolutionaries there. In the next scene, Xing sees Sun at the ship and greets him. He offers him his uniform to wear, as they are going as a hero. When they land, Sun is welcomed by a massive crowd to celebrate his return. While Xing continuously surveys his way to suspect anyone with a scheme against him. After some time, General Shikai arranges a meeting with the politicians from the north and south. He proposes to form a republic with a constitutional monarchy in China. But the negotiators from the south disagree. They agree to form the republic if Yuan wins the presidential elections. On the other hand, Sun and Xing sit at the table to have breakfast. They also discuss the upcoming presidential elections and the formation of the republic. They suspect Yuan may help hasten the empress's abdication. Suddenly, their window glasses break and a shooting occurs in the room. They hide under the table to protect themselves. After the incident, they manage to capture the assailant. After some days, the presidential election takes place in a conference hall. Sun, Xing, and Yuan are the candidates for the temporary president position. Minutes later, results are announced and Sun Wen wins the job presidency with 16 votes out of 17. During the inauguration ceremony, Provisional President Sun Wen speaks his pledge in front of many people. He strongly gives his speech to people. He surprises everyone when he announces to relinquish his position to his opponent Yuan Shikai. Later, Xing and Sun argue, as he tells him that he did this to achieve his revolutionary goal. Xing leaves the room angrily. In the next scene, Sun Wen writes down a telegram about his plans and implementation that will last a long time. This is called Sun's public declaration on implementing provisional law and a legally protected revolutionary system. Yuan Shikai is furiously provoked when he gets the news of this declaration. The next morning in the Qing palace, Yuan Shikai tells a story about the French Revolution and the gruesome death of a king at the end of the story. The frightened empress asks him to come closer, and she asks for his protection, thus not ending up like the king in the story. As Yuan leaves, Empress Long Yu realizes that he has broken his promise and joined the revolutionaries afterward. She furiously commands them to dismiss him as prime minister. After that, the Qin palace receives numerous telegrams from neighboring nations. They ask her to step down as the majority signs the petition to make the republic effective immediately. Empress Long Yu takes a deep breath and blames it all on Yuan. After some discussion, she yells the word, abdicate, and everyone gets silent. On February 12 in 1912, the empress abdicated. On the other hand, Sun went neither pressurize nor invade the palace. He gathers ambassadors from different nations to introduce himself as a provisional president for the first and last time. He pleads with them to recognize their governance system and China's new republic. He assured that he'll treat the royal family the same as the citizens with no unfair treatment or inflicting capital punishment. The movie ends when the ambassadors and people gather in the hall. They come to witness Sun's last speech as provisional president before he steps down from his position. He said he long strives for revolution, not recognition. Thanks for watching. Subscribe recap in minutes for more videos like this, and help the channel grow.